Hello there, everybody. I'm surrounded by a nice, quiet beauty this morning. Just a little dusting of snow that's come down. You can see it in the background there. But it's just so quiet, except for the noise of the roosters and the chickens. But otherwise, just a good way to be contemplative and to think about our psalm for this Sunday, Psalm 139. We only read certain portions of it because we want to focus on where it's leading us as far as our Old Testament lesson and also the gospel lesson. And, let me just read two portions of it first. O Lord, you have searched me and known me. You know when I sit down and when I rise up. You discern my thoughts from far away. You search out my path, my lying down, and are acquainted with all my ways. Then I'd like to read just another quick portion of it. For it was you who formed my inward parts. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works. So we have this Psalm 139 that leads us into marveling at how much God really loves us, how much God cares for us, how God has known us right from the beginning. I mean, we were fearfully and wonderfully created by this God. There's some things about the psalm, though, that are just a little disturbing. And I say disturbing probably in a good way for some of it. Some of it is the psalmist goes on to talk about, and these are less verses that aren't part of what we'll be doing Sunday, but they're part of the psalm. Hey, and you know me by now, you don't leave anything out. If you're going to read a psalm, read the whole thing. Take the whole thing for what it says. But right in the middle of it, after praising God for being there for us and taking care of us, the psalmist says, where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? And he goes on to say, you're everywhere. I can't escape you. And I mean, that can be disconcerting, but the psalmist wants it to be comforting. It doesn't matter where we are. God is there with us. If I say, surely the darkness shall cover me, and the light around me become night, even the darkness is not dark to you, for darkness is as light to you. You see, God's got it. God has us in his loving, comforting hands. So we have that. It goes into another part, which we will do Sunday, that has we're fearfully and wonderfully made. And in your book were written all the days that were formed for me when none of them as yet existed. And it goes on and just gives thanks to God for really, really caring for him, the psalmist. But as we read it, we give thanks to God for really, really caring for us. But here's the other part that gets a little squirrely, if you will. It gets very honest. Oh, that you would kill the wicked, O God, and that the bloodthirsty would depart from me. Those who speak maliciously of you and lift themselves up against you for evil, I hate them with a perfect hatred. Wow, where is this psalm going all of a sudden? I think the good thing about it being in there is, as much as God has fearfully and wonderfully made us and is with us all the way, there's a bit of honesty that we need to have between ourselves and God. If God knows us so thoroughly inside and out, he knows what's in our hearts. He knows that, there's people that we just can't stand. And the psalmist is trying to say, hey, God, you hate them too. And I hate the same ones you hate. Well, God kind of loves everybody. And yes, God doesn't like the evil that's around us, but at the same time, didn't he fearfully and wonderfully make those people as well in his image? Yes. So it's a bit of honesty that pops up here at the very end. And at the very end, here's the beauty. Here's the wonderful verses that we can't forget, that we're not going to be reading this Sunday, but they are so important. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know my thoughts. See if there is any wicked way in me, and lead me into the way of the everlasting. In other words, all right, God, this is how I feel. Now, test me out. Search me thoroughly. Get rid of it. Get rid of those thoughts. A wonderful thing that we need to hear today, a wonderful thing in these trying times that we all need to hear, and incredibly, incredibly comforting words to know that our God loves us, cares for us, and there's no way we're getting away from him. He will always have us in his loving arms. God's blessings be with you. And go out. Take a nice walk in this weather. Hopefully it's nice where you're at. And not too cold, but just right. And enjoy this wonderful day.